Hi everyone, welcome to today's event and thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Dillon from MSDynamicsWorld and we're here today for a session all about the era of digital documents, optimizing your document processes with D365 and Power Platform. Our speakers today are Eric Batangan and Stefan Cloutier, both with ExpertDoc, and it's my pleasure to welcome them both here with us today. So as we get started, please know that we do welcome your questions. Please feel free to type those in at any time during their presentation in the chat box that you'll see in your GoToWebinar dashboard. And someone from the ExpertDoc team will be following up with you directly after this session. So Eric, without any further delay, I'm going to hand things off to you to get us started.
Excellent. Thank you, Laura. And thank you everyone for joining us today and taking some time to learn a bit more about the digital era. Stefan and I are excited to discuss and share with you what we see around digital transformation and how we see customers look to optimize and get the most out of their CRM. We will see how you can do more, save time, give your customers the tailored experience and service they expect, and improve your employee experience, making their day easier so they could focus on the important stuff. Now, I came across these Forrester 2021 predictions, and I find that these predictions to be accurate. Digital transformation has accelerated for all businesses and in all parts of your business. So embracing technology for speed, to adapt to the changing work environment, and cater to the on-demand and service expectations of our customers. For those of you who are already using Dynamics 365, maybe you're here really just to look at how you could optimize it, asking what more can you do to stay ahead and create more separation from your competition. I've asked myself that same question, and we've discussed that here at our company. So we've been using our software, ExpertDoc Smart Flows, well, at least on the sales side for several years now. So personally, I use it to send out NDAs and quotes. And this past year, we've expanded using our technology to how we provision for new clients. In finance, we use our tool to collect invoicing instructions to make it easy and accurate, which means we're able to collect faster. And our partner team recruits new partners and sends out our partner agreements and all the pre-sales, partner documents that are needed. And in our pre-sales, we use it to respond quickly to new leads by email. These are just a few cases that I'd like to highlight, but it's really about simplifying all our repeatable document processes and automate these flows to have everyone saving time and being able to reach our customers quicker. We all know and are familiar how Microsoft is leading the digital transformation. I'll quote Satya, Microsoft CEO, recently saying, "We've seen 2 years worth of digital transformation in 2 months, from remote teamwork and learning to sales and customer service to critical cloud infrastructure and security. We are all working alongside customers every day to help them adapt and stay open for business in a world of remote everything," end quote. And I see this happening in several industries we work in, all truly embracing change and accelerating their digital transformation. Our partners and customers turn to us looking for help with their complex document requirements. ExpertDoc is a Microsoft Gold partner that integrates and provides the missing functions for sophisticated document generation. Now, documents touch every part of the customer journey, whether it be a new customer onboarding, sales quotes, or renewals. Great documents improve customers' experience. So, automate those documents that are repeatable and give your customers what they need quickly. Now, when I talk to people who create documents or generate documents, I see some recurring themes, and what I hear are there are too many steps to generating a document. They need to go to too many places to get the data they need. They sacrifice customer time, so spending too much time on what feels like admin work, things that are actually not motivating or fulfilling or make you enjoy your job. And they really want the same experience regardless, being in the office, on the road, what device they're using, really to help them perform their job easy, right? If we look at ExpertDoc and how do we help with these challenges, ExpertDoc Automation around document generation is really quite simple. We use data from anywhere in CRM or anywhere within the Dataverse. We are able to combine multiple sources of data into a single document. At design, we're looking to have a data-driven template that leverages your business rules and data, and really looking to bundle all the manual steps that happen before and even after a document has been created. So bundling that all into what we call a smart flow. So that could be like converting to PDF, sending out an email, sending that document for e-signature, and saving it wherever you want to archive it, so SharePoint, etc. So really simplifying that entire end-to-end process when you're looking to generate documents. And now, we could even look further and include more automation with Power Automate. So with our integration to Power Automate, you could do a lot more things with the hundreds of integrations that's available to you with Power Automate. A great example is the cost savings moving your documents to Azure Blob storage. That's a great use case of some of our customers saving money by a low-cost archiving system or storage solution outside of CRM, all through Power Automate. So let's take a quick look on what we're going to jump into today in the demo. We'll do 3 little demos, really one kind of demonstrating the design of our templates and the smart flow or the document process. We'll look at triggering that. So from a business user within CRM, how do they request these documents? And we'll look at a quote that's going to go out by e-signature. And then we'll also look at the Power Automate integration. So I'll let Stefan grab control of the screen to share his desktop.
All right, thank you, Eric. So as Eric mentioned, we're going to be showing you the quick demo of the smart flows. And first, we're going to be looking at the admin console where everything is created behind the scene. So creating a flow is a 3-step process. First, you need to create your data set, which will then be leveraged, extracting the data from either your CRM or other sources that will be used in your template to populate your template. And once the template is done, we will be creating a flow as to what you want to do once you create this document. So first, I will be showing you a template. If I open up this window, it will be showing you that for template designing, we use Microsoft Word. We support all the functionalities that are in Microsoft Word, plus we do add our own add-in to it. So if you look at the top part, you have the Smart Flow ribbon. In the middle part will be your Word document. You could start from an existing document, and all is required from there will be mapping fields directly in your document, and you're ready to go. So this is my Word document. And if I scroll down quickly, you will see these are merge field. So now, and on the right side, you'll see we have what we call our ExpertDoc template builder pane. And this is where you would find the first tab, which is the data set or data sets that are part of your template. You can have as many data sets as you need in your template, so you can have multiple entities, sub-entities, and there's no limitation on how many you have in your template itself. The second tab will be mapping. So these are all the fields that are mapped into the current document. And we have also another block, which is ExpertDoc style as well. So let's start from this data set. Just quickly to show you how simple it is to map a field, just click in your document location where you want the field to be mapped, select the field, and then click on map, and boom, the field is mapped directly into my document. Next item we have on our toolbar, we have conditions. Well, let's look at it this way. If you want to build a condition, let's say one paragraph will be displayed only if your customer lives in a certain area or a certain state, then you will build a condition on the field, and you could build conditions within condition, and there's no limitation on how many conditions you put in your document. We also have looping. Think of looping as, let's say, for your quote line items, you might have multiple items in your quote, and the loop will be looping through all the items to populate the table. So this is the looping procedure. When you do your loop, you could do all sorts of sorting. You could also control the break behavior. So imagine if your table would grow on the second page, how you want the second page or the break behavior to be controlling. You want to bring back the heading and so on. So this is, you have full control over all that aspect. As well, we would support dynamic table of content. So if you want to build a table of content in your document, this could be dynamically built as we go from the data coming in from your template. The next item we have is grouping. So grouping would be, let's say you have loops, so you want to group item in a loop. So let's say you have a quote, and in your quote you have hardware, software, and labor, and you want to create separate table. So by the grouping, you can group item based on any category or any field, and it would group items separately in different group automatically. We also have other functions such as pseudo field, result set, and other functions in there. So now that I've shown you the template, now once we do our template, the next step will be to create a flow. So I'm going to go into the flow, and this flow, this is where you configure how you want the document once it's generated from Dynamics to behave. So my flow first will start from Dynamics. It will then be retrieving data. And once it retrieves the data from my data set, it will generate a document. And the next step, once we do generate a document in the store and deliver, what you want to do with the document. So, well, first, in this flow, we want to send it to DocuSign. And our flow will be delayed and wait till the document is signed from the customer. And once this is signed, the next step that we've configured is to create a note in Dynamics and storing the signed document in Dynamics. So let's go now and show you exactly that flow from within Dynamics. I'm into the quote, so I'm going to select one of my quote. And you notice in Dynamics, you have in the ribbon, Smart Flow button. If I click on it, you will see all the flows related to the entity that I'm in. And for entity, we support all custom entities and all entities from within Dynamics. So I'm going to trigger my e-signing flow. It will open up what we call our flow execution panel, showing the progress to the user that's triggering this flow. And now it's sending it to DocuSign. It's sending the actual document through DocuSign. And the flow will pause then until the customer has signed the document. Sorry. So now we'll be showing you the exact email that's coming in from DocuSign, and here it is. So now once we get the email from DocuSign, you would click and review. And that's the actual document that was sent through DocuSign, which is a quote. And we're going to click on sign, finish. And now that it's signed and finished, our flow will then resume with the next step, which will be creating a note in Dynamics and storing a copy of that quote. So if I go back into my Dynamics and I just go to my detail, you will see in the timeline, we've got the final and signed quote directly attached in Dynamics.
So that's a pretty simple example of leveraging Dynamics with ExpertDoc to send out quotes and get them signed. If you think back of what you just saw, Stefan really just clicked that Smart Flow pull-down menu to expose the different flows that are available to him in that entity, and click the eSign Smart Flow. So from that one click, he was able to do a lot of steps which you saw previously in the design portion of the template and the Smart Flow design. You were able to see all the different steps that Smart Flow executed. But from a business user or the salesperson generating that document, all they did was click that Smart Flow button, and they could continue on doing their work. They don't need to follow up on the e-signature. Once that's done, it's brought back into CRM, saved in notes, potentially kick off any other downstream workflows when signed documents come in, and the salesperson is doing their job and focused on selling versus chasing documents around or manually creating documents. Sorry to interrupt, Stan. Go ahead.
Thanks, Eric. All right, so this is for the flow for the e-signing. Now we're going to show you our next quick demo, which is the integration with Power Automate. And our next flow will be showing you from within the account. The flow is, let's say we created a Power Automate flow, which is an automation. So as soon as we will create a new account, we want in this scenario to send a welcome email to the customer. So we're going to show you that very quickly. So we're going to click create a new customer. So we're going to call this customer company ABC Inc. And we're just going to pick a primary contact so that we have somebody that we can at least send the quote, the welcome email to. So once we create this new contact account, so I'm going to save, and now that it's saved, what happened is behind the scene we had a Power Automate flow that would be triggered and would send an automated email to the customer, welcome email. So the email that was just created for the customer is this one. So it's coming from a template from SmartFlows that says, well, thank you for choosing Xpertdoc, the customer name, the company name, and some interesting link that we could provide to knowledge base and so on. So this is one type of flow that we could generate with Power Automate. So we have a full integration connector with Power Automate. Power Automate could start SmartFlows, or the reverse. SmartFlow could also be calling Power Automate itself. All right. And I'll be showing you how easy it is to create that flow. So I'm going to go in Power Automate, how to create an automated flow. So the flow will start as soon as you create a new record from within the account. Once the record is created in Dynamics, it will then execute, it will then connect to ExpertDoc connector and execute a flow, which is the welcome email. And that's as simple as that to create an automated flow. Again. So our next flow from, our next demo from Dynamics, this time will be calling Power Automate from SmartFlows, and we will be going into the account. And I'll go into one of the account. And the flow that we will be doing is we will be sending a link to the customer to a form where we would show him the information we have on record in Dynamics on their account. And we will allow them to make some changes or update their address if needed. And once they proceed, the form will come back into the SmartFlows. SmartFlows will then be calling Power Automate to update records in Dynamics. And then after that, we will be creating a note in Dynamics displaying the before and after address change directly there. So I'm going to be triggering this flow, which is my address validation. And now it will start the flow execution panel. And what it will do now, it will be preparing the email for the customer, sending that along with a link to ExpertDoc Smart Form, and wait for the result from the customer filling in the form. Okay, so now that we received the email, all we need to do is open the email, click on the link, which will open up a smart form. And in that form, we will then see the information that we have on Dynamics, and the customer is allowed to change information. So let's say I need to change the phone number to 890. The street will be North Avenue, and we'll change our zip code to 9005. Once this is complete, customer will need just to click on submit, and then our flow will automatically resume to the next step, which will be calling Power Automate, updating CRM record, creating a document with the previous and new address change, and creating a note and storing everything in Dynamics, and we're done. So if I go back into my Dynamics session, I will just do a refresh. And if you notice the phone number and the address, now I'm just going to do a quick refresh. And boom, the phone number has been changed to 890 North and 9005 for the zip code. And also we've created a note and with a PDF attachment saying that the company's address was changed. And the document we did, so it says who made the change when, what was the previous information in Dynamics, and what was the change that was made. And so this is the example of Power Automate integration with Smart Flows.
It's really exciting because what you just saw are really two simple examples of Power Automate and ExpertDoc and that integration that we have. The first one that you saw was, a simple new account or new record is entered in your account entity, and a welcome letter goes out. That was a real-time welcome letter generation, but with Power Automate, you could as well schedule that. So if you're creating new records or several new records in a day, and you want to do a scheduled batch welcome letter at the end of the day, and you could do that as well. And from the business user's perspective, they're still in Dynamics. They haven't called manually requested ExpertDoc. Power Automate is what calls us through an automated process. And then the second example where Stefan did a address update, again, the user is within Dynamics. The ExpertDoc tool deploys and emails a smart form to your customer. We pull in the existing information from the record, pre-populate that form, so your customer only has to verify and validate and maybe change some of those fields. Once we've collected that information, if there are changes through Power Automate, ExpertDoc can call Power Automate to update those records. And again, it's totally transparent to the business user, all fully automated Dynamics with ExpertDoc, with Power Automate, really allowing you to do a lot and extend what you do with D365. Let me flip back over here. So what Stefan showed in the demo is really simple and easy ways to expand the Microsoft technology that you have today, really trying to meet your digital transformation goals. And so with ExpertDoc, as part of that, you can truly simplify how your team sends out all your important documents that are customer facing. I want to thank Stefan for walking us through that demo. Thank you for your time today, and Laura for helping set this up. I hope what you leave with are some ideas of how you could do more in less time. And if you'd like to have a discovery call to explore your unique use cases, please don't hesitate to contact me and send your questions in here at to Microsoft Dynamics World, and we'll be happy to respond to you and get back to you as quickly as possible. Back to you, Laura.
Great, thanks, Eric. Thanks, Stefan, for the good information and the demo as well on the products that ExpertDoc has. If you did type questions in, you can look for a response, and we did record today's event, and we'll be making that available as well. So with that, we're going to end it there. Have a great day, everybody.